Welcome to the Olsen Angle. Today we're going to be talking about an outside linebacker recruit out of Georgia, Phillip Webb. Now, Phillip is the 25th overall recruit on ESPN, the 40th overall recruit on 24/7 Sports, and the 42nd overall recruit there on Rivals.com. And he stands at 6'4" and he's about 220 pounds. And the first thing you're going to notice when you watch Phillip's highlights is the guy has elite level speed. And you can't teach the speed, and majority of his tackles for loss, quarterback hurries, and even sacks all come and are generated just because he has that elite level speed. Phillip is really going to benefit from playing in a 3-4 defense, and he's probably going to be the outside linebacker that is rushing the quarterback on most third down situations. And you'll notice, as I mentioned earlier, that almost every single highlight is all as a result to just his speed. And as someone who's evaluating what Phillip does on the field, this excites me. And I'm going to let you know something also. For colleges who have been watching and recruiting Phillip, this excites them a lot too, because they see that he is able to cause and wreak so much havoc in the backfield just with one element, and that's the speed. You can't teach the speed, so they are thinking to themselves, wow, this kid has so much potential. If we can get him to rush and run the bell curve a little bit more efficiently, if we can go ahead and get him to use an inside pass rush move after he's been setting up the outside speed rush all day, if we can get him to where he can engage and shock an offensive lineman enough to kind of move him off of his kick slide, and then he's able to go ahead and work inside, outside, maybe with a spin, maybe with a rip. It excites these teams because there is so many things they could still teach Phillip. Phillip is way too fast to have the offense expect the tackle to be able to kick slide all the way out there and block him one-on-one. He's just too quick and would just make the offensive lineman look silly all game long because he's never going to be able to get out there. And when he does over pursue and just kick too far, Phillip has an easy inside rush there to the quarterback. And Phillip is also way too strong to have the running back matchup, so you can't have the running back read from Mike to the outside linebacker, which a lot of offenses would do against 3-4 defenses. So the only two ways you can really block Phillip in a pass rush situation in high school is by having the full slide side go towards wherever Phillip is. And this would give that offensive tackle help on the inside so he can worry more about just the outside pass rush move. Or if you really are content with your offensive lineman, you think maybe he would do an okay job matching up against Phillip, you have to go ahead and pair him with a running back who would be able to chip the outside edge when Phillip does get around the offensive tackle, which is going to happen consistently. That running back has to be there to chip him to force him back into the tackle. I promise you, these high school teams are game planning for Phillip's speed, and he still is making his highlights all based off of speed. It really speaks to how quick he is. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and get right into the film. Wow, just as we mentioned earlier guys, Phillip is just way too powerful and quick to expect the running back to be able to block him off the edge one-on-one. It's just an impossible ask, especially for a running back at the high school level. It's never gonna be a successful chance. The speed, right? The tight end went out there for a pass. The tackle had to block the defensive tackle who was head up over him. So really it was just, hey quarterback, we need you to roll outside, buy a little bit of time, and complete a pass. But Phillip is way too fast for that to ever work. Wow. Untouched in the backfield again. If I had to guess, just based off of the way the play looked, the guard probably should have kicked outside to the defensive tackle, and the tackle should have been one-on-one with Phillip on the outside. But even then, it was going to only end in a disaster for the offense. He's physical. He's physical and loves to hit. Oh. I like to see him there in pass coverage a little bit. I like to see that. You're not going to see him in pass coverage all that often in these highlights, and that's because he's a great pass rusher. There it is again. We just talked about it earlier. It's an impossible ask to have that running back block Phillip there one-on-one. Oh my guys, I've got to rewind that. Holy crap. You want to talk about an effort play. Look at this on this bubble screen. 1, 2, 2 wide receivers. He just goes ahead and just breaks 2 wide receivers trying to block him and makes a tackle on that bubble in the backfield. He didn't even gain yards. He made that tackle in the backfield. On specials. Making plays on specials. And you're going to notice that throughout the highlights too. The guy is not a selfish player. Look how many plays he makes on special teams, whether it's kickoff, punt return / punt block. He's making plays on specials at a pretty high rate. And most times the guys in high school, they don't like to play specials. Phillip is thriving in special teams. Nice play. Nice effort. Nice effort play. Does a good job he does a good job there in the run defense. That is something that really impresses me right there. He goes ahead and hits the offensive lineman, creates separation there with a good punch. He waits, he's slow playing it. The offensive lineman's having a difficult time moving his feet because Phillip has completely stopped him in his tracks. And he sees the running back. He's able to read which way the running back goes. He's able to disengage and make the tackle. That was a big play there in the run. I love to see the fact that he is no slouch against the run. That's big. Wow. On those stunts, it's wow. It's a hard ass to have anybody in high school block Phillip's speed on a stunt rush like that. Oh, I hope that wasn't the tackle. I hope that was a tight end right there. I only got a quick glimpse, but oh my God, he put that offensive lineman on skates. Ooh. In today's game, a hit like that might be flagged, even though I see no problem at all with a hit. I mean, it was only like one more stride and then he hit the quarterback, but just the way and how hard he hit the quarterback, refs like to throw flags just based off of how the quarterback goes down. There he is on specials, blocking more punts. There it is again, guys. There it is again. He does a great job in the run. He stays in his lane there, which is to the outside, keep the outside contained. Goes ahead and creates a separation there with the lineman. And as the running back gets closer to hitting the hole, he's able to disengage and make the tackle for a loss. Great play. Great play, Phillip. Ooh. He does a great job preventing that play to be able to stretch to the outside, and when the running back cuts it back inside, just goes ahead and disengages and makes the tackle. Great job. I know that play was supposed to be a quicker developing play by the offense, but that running back really wasn't expecting, Phillip to go ahead and make a play on that particular situation, but he still did a good job with the effort. Nice little pass breakup. I like it. I like it. Again on specials. Again on specials. Here we go. Okay. Oh, he's gone. That's a touchdown. Oh, wow. Phillip has great speed, athleticism, and can turn on a dime. We saw through the highlights how many times did he excel there in rushing the quarterback. That is obviously the strongest part of his game. But what surprised me the most before I watched these highlights was how well he played against the run. How many times did we see him go ahead and shock the offensive lineman, stop the offensive lineman's feet there with a good blow, and then as the running back continues to go ahead and stretch out the play and look for a hole to hit, and when he comes near Phillip, Phillip is able to disengage and use his active hands to go ahead and make a stop in the run. A lot of times these guys who like rushing the quarterbacks, these outside linebackers who are, pass rush specialists, are usually pretty lax against the run, but Phillip isn't. I know we didn't see many highlights of Phillip in pass coverage, and that's to be expected, because on the majority of those second and long and third and long situations, the defense is going to be rushing one of those outside linebackers on almost every single down. So when you have a guy who's as talented at rushing the quarterback as Phillip, he's going to be always the guy that the team is asking to rush the quarterback. So it really doesn't shock me that we didn't see many pass coverage highlights there in the film. But I think Phillip can also go ahead, and he's got a lot of potential there in pass coverage because he's got the speed and the athleticism. So with enough situational base reps, I think that could become a strong suit of his game as well. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys. If you did enjoy it, consider subscribing and following us there at the Olsen Angle on Facebook and Twitter.